Are we live?
We're live.
Are we live?
We're live. Hi.
Hello. Okay, is it on me?
It's on you.
Hi. Hey everybody, I am Kim Forrest and welcome to Esteli, Nicaragua. So we've been...
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
here.
here's Shelby.
Sorry. Hi, I'm Shelby Cardis. I just figured out how to turn the camera around.
Yes. So Shelby is the executive director of StoveTeam, and I am on the board of directors of StoveTeam. And we're here in Esteli, Nicaragua today. So if you've seen our other videos, we were in Guatemala where we learned about building a Justa stove. And then we visited Gustavo in El Salvador where we talked to him about all of his different stoves. And now we're here in Esteli, Nicaragua, and we're going to introduce you to Elida Olivas, who is a female entrepreneur and factory owner here in Nicaragua, in this town. And she has arranged for us to do a cooking demonstration with a woman who received an ecocina that was made in her factory. And so we'll go inside in a second and see how to cook Nectamales, which is a Nicaraguan dish, which is kind of like a tamale, but it is a Nectamale because we're in Nicaragua, and I'm sure they'll explain to us what that is. And then we're also going to talk to her a little bit about what it's like to be an entrepreneur here, and about her factory, and about what she's doing with clean cook stoves in Nicaragua. So what we've learned, we're in a pretty urban area of Nicaragua right now. You can see that we're on a very regular paved street. It's in a rather big town, and what we've learned so far is that gas is very expensive in Nicaragua, and there are a lot of open fires in the houses, and rather than replace the open fires with gas, having a stove that can actually vent the smoke out is a good alternative for them because the gas is too expensive. So Elida's had a lot of success selling her cook stoves here in these urban areas of Nicaragua.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kim.
Yeah.
That's great.
Do you want to go ahead and
Intro.
head inside?
Yeah,
Is there
let's
anything
do it.
else you want to add before we go in
I
there?
don't think so. I'm just going to turn the camera around and give our viewers a quick view up and down the street. Before we head into the house, you can see a little bit where we are, and then I'll just follow you, Kim.
There's a ramp. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I think
I'm
it's
gonna try walking
walk down it. There you go. I think it's to roll your motorcycle down the stairs. Here we go. These beautiful plants here. Hello.
So this here is Elida Olivas of Avanza Fabrica here in Nicaragua.
Hola, mucho gusto. Mi nombre es Elida Oliva. Estoy encantada de estar aquí en la casa de Consuelo. Estamos aquí presentando para lo de la nacatamal una comida típica. Esperamos pues que lo disfruten.
Yeah. So Elida was just saying her name and that she's happy to be here in the house of Doña Consuela, and that we're going to present the Nectamales. And this is Doña Consuela, nuestro chef hoy.
Mucho gusto, me da un placer de que me hayan elegido y que esté con ustedes compartiendo y que prueben esos nacatamales, como dice ella, es un platillo típico de Nicaragua, y así pues que aquí estamos para ofrecerles, para que los saboreen.
So she was just saying welcome to her house. She's happy that she was chosen to do this presentation of typical Nectamales from here in Nicaragua. And now I'm going to introduce Waleska, who's going to be our real translator today. Waleska works for StoveTeam all the time in Antigua, and also works with the factory owners that are here in Nicaragua and in El Salvador.
Hi guys, nice to meet you. I hope I can translate well.
Great, so let's go ahead and go in here and make some Nectamales.
Bueno,
Go.
hacia adelante. Vamos a hacer el proceso del nacatamal.
So we are gonna make the process of the nacatamal.
La oración de nacatamal.
Sí, sí. Aquí tenemos las hojitas.
Ooh,
Those are the leaves.
so these are banana
Sí,
leaves.
sí, ya nosotros las tenemos limpias.
We
Sí,
have them
no,
clean.
no hay. Sí. Entonces, las ponemos así. Miren las hojas, si van.
They basically need 3 leaves to make this, so you can see the shape of them.
Ajá.
Y son de banana?
Sí,
So they're banana leaves?
Sí.
Yeah. And she said they have to be clean, so
Sí.
3 clean leaves.
y entonces aquí está el proceso de la masa. Esto lleva masa de maíz
That's the base, it's corn.
con se le echa bastante tomate, chiltoma, cebolla,
It has tomatoes,
Sí.
Onions,
lleva arroz,
rice,
lleva papa,
potato.
sí, y ahí los van a probar.
You will try them
Sí.
in a second.
Manteca de cerdo también lleva.
It also have the
Entonces
fat
lo
of a
ponemos
pig.
así y después le ponemos la carne, que aquí está la carne.
Now she's gonna place the meat.
¿sí? Le ponemos carne.
¿Está crudo?
Sí, está cruda.
The
Bien
meat is
adobada
rotten.
con achote, pasta de ajo y,
The-
y comino.
They put cumin, garlic, and also
Y naranja agria. se le echa también.
achiote and a type of orange.
Sí.
And yeah, they put it in raw and then we'll steam it,
Sí.
right?
Y después le vamos a poner las papas crudas. Mire, lleva papa también.
Also, it
La
gets the
hacemos
potato.
cocida aquí en la masa y también ponemos cruda.
So they put it on the base. It's
Sí.
cooked, but also it's uncooked, as you can see there.
Sí. Después le ponemos el arroz.
They do the same with the rice.
¿sí?
So there's rice.
Sí.
There's rice
Arroz
in here and
remojado.
potato in here.
El arroz solo es remojado.
And
Lo
then also
lavamos
the
bien,
raw.
sí.
And the rice has to be in water.
It has it's
Sí.
soft, it's soaked, but
Yeah.
it's soaked but uncooked, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sí. Y también hacemos un mole que le decimos, que esto va con tomate, chiltoma, cebolla.
That's also the sauce. They call it with mil tomate, which is the green tomato and also tomato, onions.
Sí. Y le ponemos aquí. En el-
Entonces es bien distinto de tamales de México. Bien distinto.
Así es.
So it's very
Sí.
different.
Y
Very
después
different.
los agarramos así, en triángulo, y le doblamos aquí.
They put it in a triangle.
Mira. Y los hacemos así. Y ya queda nuestro nacatamalito.
And that's how it's done.
And then tiene que
Ah, y la
amarrarlo,
cabullita
¿verdad?
sí, lo amarramos, decirle que
They
te
wrap
pase
it
la
up.
cabullita. Una, sí, para hacerle la muestra como lo amarramos. Si le hago otro,
Entonces, ¿en cuáles ocasiones aquí en Nicaragua van a comer nectamales?
In which occasions you are gonna be eating the nakatamales? I'm translating what the Kim says and also what the woman cooking says.
¿En qué época usted hace el nacatamal?
ah, nosotros como es para negocio, pues, entonces hacemos todos los jueves,
Every
viernes
Thursday,
y sábado.
Friday and Saturday, but because it's they do it for business. She does
Sí,
it for
pero
business.
está para Navidad. Aquí nosotros consumimos mucho
But they
nacatamal.
Dígale
they
cuánta
consume-
cantidad.
they
Sí.
consume
Ah,
a lot.
cantidad.
La cantidad que usted hace.
Pues sí, mire, nosotros hacemos 250, 300,
They do
y hasta
250, 300.
pues hacen
400,
pedidos grandes, claro, pero
depending on the orders that the people make. But normally they eat it for Christmas.
sí, hacen pedidos grandes, pero así lo normal, semanal, pues 400.
But normally they
Bien.
do 400 per week.
Wow.
Sí,
Como el negocio de usted.
es un negocio,
Ajá.
sí, de la familia.
Ah, de la
Sí,
familia.
Sí, con mis hijas, sí.
Con sus hijas.
Sí.
Pero usted fundió el negocio.
Sí,
Ajá.
es correcto. Esto viene por generación.
It comes from
Sí.
generations.
Sí, porque mi suegra, ella hacía nacatamales y yo aprendí de ella.
Her mother-in-law
Y-
did the
y así ha ido la
tamales and she
familia,
learned
pues,
from them, and that's
haciendo.
how it goes
Sí,
from the family.
sí, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Tenemos esta tradición, pues ahí estamos con los nacatamales. Y ya mi hija y ellas también.
Ajá.
So it's a
Nacatamal
tradition
la
and
abuelita
also
Sí,
and
y
also
le
also goes
pusimos
for the
Nectamales la abuelita.
La abuelita Consuelo.
Sí, porque
And then-
ya somos abuelitas.
And the name of the Nectamales, in this case of her business, is Nectamales of the grandma.
Y ya
¿Quieres mostrarnos qué
Ah.
hace después de hacer todo de esto? Lo pongan en
A coser.
a coser.
So after they do all of that, it's time to cook it.
Sí, entonces después, no le corté esto. Después ponemos agua,
She
hoja
puts
abajo
water and also
y
leaves
nos ponemos a cocer.
on the bottom, and
Ahí.
she cook it
3 horas
For
tiene
3
que llevar
hours.
con agua. La
with
rosa.
water.
Sí, 3 horas.
lo que le pone ahí por encima que...
Ah,
No, esos son de lo que hace con
no, es que esto los envolví en papel de aluminio.
para que
Sí.
no se le meta agua. Cuando no se
Sí,
haya
cuando
mucha
no se
agua.
junta, no tiene mucho uno hojas, porque hay tiempo que está como muy
Descarga.
que sea como
Dañado.
quisiera ser dañado,
Ujú.
entonces tenemos que poner papel.
So she is explaining that you can see in
Sí,
the
pero
pot.
tengo.
You can see in the pot that she also get some wrapped up with aluminum paper, because sometimes the season is not for the leaves, the plantain leaves, so she has to use the aluminum paper to keep the business going.
Y en esta estufa ya he hecho los
Así.
nacatamares.
Ponemos un perol de 400 y perfectamente ella se puede poner.
So if you
Es grande el perol, lo iba a pasar para acá, pero como hoy no tenía alguien varón, por eso yo le iba a mostrar el perol también.
So if you can see where she is cooking is in the cocina. That's Elida's biggest businesses. And the cocina, it can look like small, but she actually put a pot with 400 nacatamales. Unfortunately, she cannot show it to us because there was not a man who helped her put in the big one, but that's basically what she does.
Excelente. I lost it, huh?
So I just wanted for anyone who's just joining us, we are in Esteli, Nicaragua, with a family cooking nacatamales with the Ecocina cook stove, and I just wanted to call out Climate Hound, our sponsor of our project in Nicaragua. Climate Hound is working with the food and beverage industry to help the food and beverage industry reduce their environmental impact, and they've been sponsoring our program in Nicaragua.
Great. And the reason that helps the food and beverage industry reduce their impact is that because they are, these stoves help reduce the amount of wood that people are using here, so they can actually get carbon credits for investing in these kind of projects to reduce that kind of spending of wood. Because otherwise, something like this, you would make an open fire in order to cook these over an open fire. And yet the Ecocina uses a lot less wood than an open fire would use, and it's safer. So I want to ask Elida some questions about her business. Yeah? ¿Nos puede decir por qué tiene pasión por este tipo de trabajo?
Bueno, a mí me ha encantado todo el tiempo lo del cuidado del medio ambiente, amo las plantas, entonces estudié agronomía, soy ingeniero agrónomo.
I'm gonna try to translate. Thank you. So she loves the environment, she loves the plants, and she has been studying for agronomía.
Yeah,
Agronomy.
industrial. She's an agricultural engineer is what she studied.
Y cuando comencé con mis cocinas avanza, mi misión fue un reto de que la gente, demostrarle a la gente que la cocina sí podía hacer hervir un perol grande.
So when she started with the business of the cocinas, it was a challenge for her because she has to teach the people that actually with the ecocina they can cook in a big pot.
Al principio la gente decía que no creían que una estufa de esas hiciera hervir un perol.
at the beginning, the people say that they don't believe that they can actually cook a big pot in that kind of stove.
Y en un año logramos vender 1,200 estufas.
But in a year, they were able to sell 1,200 stoves.
Y para nosotros fue un impacto porque una estufa que no la conocían en Nicaragua logró tener popularidad en un año.
So it was a big impact because the stove wasn't popular, but it was able to get a big impact. They get to know the stove.
Y ya tenemos alrededor casi de 6 años y la gente sigue comprando las estufas.
They have been in the business for 6 years and people is still buying the stove.
Y más gente de ciudad porque como ven ya viven en la ciudad y ella hace Nectamales y necesitan moverla de un lugar a otro y es fácil para la gente.
And more people from the city because as you can see here, they can move the cocina from one place to another.
¿Cuánto tienen ustedes de tener?
Tenemos 6 años de estar con esto y ya estamos encantados.
She also has 6 years of having the stove and she says that they are loving it.
Entonces, ¿has visto que muchas personas que tienen negocios así están comprando estufas
Sí, de tortilla, fritanga, Nectamales, de todo. Porque
Perdón. So she has been seeing that a lot of people is buying the stove, so she's like explaining now which kind of businesses.
hice un video porque la gente mucho se quejaba de la estufa y en ese video implementamos poner cómo hervir un perol con Nectamales, echando tortilla, asando carne. Entonces de esa manera la gente ya no me pregunta, sino que solo le doy el video y ya están felices con esto.
So one of the things that Elida has been doing is she made a video so she can teach the people that actually it works. So they make a video where they show how they actually can place the pot with the Nectamales, and also they have been doing like the so they put the beef and they place also veggies and all that, so people can see that the stuff works.
Incluso la carne que ustedes vieron anoche era asada.
She made us, we had a fiesta de noche last night, and we had carne de cerdo and barbecue that was cooked asada, so grilled on a cocina. And so many people are doing that, as well as tortillas. Están haciendo tortillas por la cocina también.
Sí,
Yeah.
Sí, todo se puede hacer en ella. Puede asar carne, echar tortilla, lo que usted quiera.
You can do wherever you want there. You can cook the tortillas, you can grill the meat, anything you want.
Sí, así es.
¿Qué más? ¿Cómo es ser un emprendedor y mujer aquí en Nicaragua avanzando este negocio?
How is it like to be an entrepreneur, being a woman here in this business?
Es un reto porque trabajar con hombres y yo siendo mujer
It's a
es un
challenge.
reto.
It's a challenge to work as being a woman and working
Hay
with
que
men.
dirigir, entonces para mí ha sido una experiencia muy bonita. Ya tengo la experiencia, considero, tanto en dirigir un personal y estar en venta.
So it has been a challenge working with men because she's the one who has to direct them, but she already has the experience and she also has men who work for her.
Uno de mis retos fue en la pandemia,
One of the challenges were during the pandemic.
aunque a pesar que StoveTeam estuvo un poquito ausente, nosotros siempre estuvimos ahí en pie. No dejamos que la fábrica, no cerramos la fábrica, tratamos de mantenerla con vida.
So they didn't close their factory, even it was a little bit challenging because all of the companies were also closed and StoveTeam wasn't that much as present, but she managed to keep the factory open.
Con poco personal, pero la gente siempre compraba la estufa.
With not that many of people in the factory working for her, but the people always wanted to buy it.
Fue muy difícil.
It was hard.
¿Y ahora cuántas personas trabajan en la fábrica y en las ventas con usted?
So
Bueno.
how many people work for her?
Ahorita con el proyecto de la justa y el proyecto de cocina tenemos un personal entre 10 y 11 personas,
But now 10 people.
incluyendo nosotros los dos, Nelson y yo.
So 10 people is working for her in a new project called the Justa project. The StoveTeam is also making it happen here now.
So if you have not seen all of our Facebook Live videos, the Justa project, as opposed to this stove, which we've talked about is great for having a portable stove that you can move around your house or move around outside or take other places to do your business. The Justa stove is much bigger, has a long plancha, and it's built in place. And so that is just a different style that some people want, but it needs a person who's very trained in order to construct that Justa stove. And Elida has a few people that have been with her for several years. We met one today. ¿Cómo se llama? Eric, que ya tiene 5 años. He has 5 years of experience building Justa stoves, and we went today to a house where he was building a Justa stove in the house. Sí. Solo dime qué son sus metas, sus sueños para el
What are
futuro.
her goals and dreams?
Mis metas para el futuro es crecer con la fábrica
She wants to grow with the
y
factory.
no quedarme ahí, que sea más grande, que lleguemos a muchas personas, no solo con la cocina, sino con la justa.
So she wants to grow the business and not staying only with this cocina, but with the new project of the Justa.
Porque hay mucha demanda en la estufa, porque la gente no quiere tener humo en su vivienda.
Because there is a lot of
esa es la
demand,
meta.
people doesn't want to get smoke in their houses, so that's the goal, to get to as many people as they can.
Y esperamos tener muchos patrocinadores para que nos apoyen en ese aspecto,
And they hope that they get more people that support them.
porque es lo que necesitamos.
So just to talk a little bit about how StoveTeam, Climate Hound, different supporters help this project here in Nicaragua. Elida has a small subsidy for these stoves, so Climate Hound through StoveTeam helps support subsidies for the stoves. But that's only about a 25% subsidy. The rest is paid for by the people who are receiving the stoves. So the people who get the stoves really want to use them. They've invested a lot of money, and then StoveTeam and its supporters will give a little subsidy for that as well. So we continue to fundraise for that. If you want to help out, the best way would be to go to StoveTeam's website, talk to us about how to get involved with the project, how you might donate, or just learn more about it. Just keep following us to learn more about how these programs work and how we're investing in this as an amazing social business, right? Alida's running a proper business, not an aid organization. She's selling these to local people, and we're supporting a little bit, but she's developing a factory with a sales network and a great model for success here for herself and her family and her workers in Nicaragua. Entonces, muchas gracias. No sé si hay algo más que quieras decir. Perdón.
Vamos a probar el nacatamal. Vamos a abrirlo para que ustedes conozcan el
Now
sabor
they are
y
gonna
deleiten el sabor
they're gonna show you the final
Sí.
product.
Nada, Neidita, dígale a la madre que le pasé.
Now we eat the Nectamales, right?
Tamales.
Okay. Yes. I've never had a Nectamal before. Es mi primera vez probando Nectamales. Sí. Porque es mi primera vez aquí en Nicaragua.
Ah, qué bueno, ¿eh? Mucha alegría.
Sí, gracias.
Que no sea, y que no sea la primera vez, ¿verdad? Ojalá que se enamore del gusto del nacatamal.
Claro. A mí me gustan mucho tamales y entonces me imagino que me puede gustar también.
Creo que cada país tiene su diferencia.
So every country has a different type of nacatamal.
Sí.
Sí, sí.
Pero
Quiero
está-
ponerlo así, para que
Ah, okay.
aquí.
Ajá, digo, para que no les den. O aquí, donde ustedes quieran.
Kim, do you want to show a little bit about how the ecocina works just while we're waiting
Sure.
for?
So, if you haven't seen an ecocina before, this one is well loved. It's been around 6 years, but it still works great. One thing that Elida does that's really cute is she paints the outside. This is not a functional paint. It's just a paint to add a color to it. So it's peeling a little bit, but it's just plain water-based latex paint. But anyway, the Ecocina is a L shape like this. So if you look at my hand, the part where the wood goes in here is shorter than this part here, and the draft coming up here of the air, it drafts upwards and it causes the wood to fully combust and burn off all the extra particulates, and so that reduces the smoke. It's called a rocket stove design, is the name of how that stove is designed. Yeah, and then it creates, it's cool to the touch here. Like, it's not cool, but I can touch it without getting hurt. So that was designed so that if children are in the house and they touch the Ecocina, they won't burn their hand. And then the top is where it gets hot here. So it also can have a comal on the top where you could make tortillas, but you can take off that comal, and this has an added part here so that you can actually put a pot on there to cook what you need to cook.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
And these stoves use roughly 50% less fuel, and so that's great because they are really saving a lot of trees, and the amount of carbon that is reduced with this stove each year is estimated to be about 2 to 3 tons per year. And so these stoves are fuel efficient, and they're really saving a lot of carbon emissions from going into our atmosphere. So they're helping to have clean air here in Central America as well as in the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ya tenemos el Nectamal. So we have the Nectamal here, and we took the string off.
Vamos a abrirlo. Ya ya está.
Bien caliente. Acaba de terminar. Wow. So you can see all that rice that cooked on top there, and the tomatoes. Very nice.
Looks delicious.
And now we will try it.
I'll just give you a quick little view of the kitchen. This beautiful house.
Let's see what it looks like when we break into it.
Yeah.
Yeah? Ooh. There's the potato. There's all that from before. Oh, and the piece of meat.
Looks-
I'm actually afraid to put it in my mouth because it looks so hot.
Yeah.
So I'm going to wait for a little bit.
Let it cool down a little bit.
But, well, maybe I'll try it. We'll see what happens. First taste of Nectamal. Muy rico. Sí.
Gracias, gracias.
Muy suave. Sí, es muy suave. La textura. So the texture is very, very like smooth, like a tamale, but it's spiced with. I can taste the tomato in it. El tomate se nota bastante, y las especies.
Sí, la especie, sí.
Delicious.
That's great.
Sí, gracias. Muchas gracias a ustedes a mostrarnos. Fue muy especial. So we are going to sit and eat this. Thank you for joining us. Bye.